slightly 3 to 4 clients daily would be the average. On a bad days, maybe two bad, but yeah, mostly 3 to 4 clients. Sometimes the maximum you get is maybe seven, which you're really done after. You know you're gonna take some sleep.
So, how many clients would have very um, different demands from you? Like, what's the strangest request you've had from your clients? Like, what like the nasty? Give us the nasty.
Well, this is gonna sound weird. There was one client who wanted me to dress like a little schoolgirl,
Mm-hmm.
but he wanted me very submissive.
Mm-hmm.
When I dressed up like a schoolgirl, I was a dominant bitch. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm not gonna have nobody dominate this ass.
Oh. So dressing as a schoolgirl turned him on
Yes.
and got him on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes,
There are
girl.
other
You know how it
requests. Let me
goes.
see.
Do you ever worry about your own satisfaction, about you actually getting off like with the clients? Does that ever happen? Do you ever think about that?
To be honest, once in a while, but I get my satisfaction by, just being in charge, just being that, independent, dominant bitch. That's what I really get off on.
So is it mostly white men that like you to be dominant, or black men, or versatile? I know sometimes black men can be very try to be very masculine and strong, and yet sometimes they can be a real sissy in bed. I've had a few, trust me. But do you find that white men are more submissive, or do you find that black men are more submissive? Um, like, which are the guys that you have to give it to, if you know what I mean? Which are the ones?
I will
What are the
say,
type of guys you have to give it to?
I would say white guys. They're the ones who like, you know, the submissive ones, basically. I would say white guys.
Is it the seatbelt that's the problem?
Yep,
Is
it's a
the seatbelt?
seatbelt.
Alan, put your seatbelt on. I
Okay.
think
But
that's why it's beeping.
I could say the white guys are
Hmm.
the most ones to be submissive. Black guys are too controlling.
Okay. So now when you think of terms of bottoms and tops, meaning in the gay life, that means if you're top, you sometimes are more of the dominant one, and bottoms are more of they play more. It's more the female role. Now, which one do you enjoy the most, or um, which ones is it that the clients ask for you the most? What kind of sex do the clients ask from you?
To be honest, most likely to be the top, because in this world, women is like the most submissive thing,
Hmm.
and most of the guys are like, bosses, supervisors. They're the ones who speak. So a guy likes a girl who knows what she wants, know how to speak, and to be the own, boss lady, to say that much. So I must say I definitely enjoy being a boss lady. You
Okay.
know, being trans, and I still have that controlling part of me. So they're mostly asked to play the top part, um, which I do love. I can't take too much. I'm not too good at being a bottom.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna let my 9 inches waste
Oh.
to say that much. Come on.
Now, when you think about the terms of the sexual positions that your clients are looking for you to perform for them, what is it that you enjoy the most, and um, what is it that you actually mentally, what are you getting from this? What is it that you enjoy the most with your clients? Is it the socializing? Is it the sex? Is it the release? What is it that Sweet Pea is actually getting from the encounter?
To be honest, love the connection. I'm a fan of the connection. Once I connect with somebody, the sex is twice as awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to say that much. What else I can say? I enjoy the sex. I love being a top. Um, there's some clients that are too picky, and in terms of saying that, you always gotta work with good connection. If you're not working with good connection, you're not working with anything. Um, Getting to know other people's life and lifespans is pretty amazing, to be honest to you. Like what they work doing, what they like, and the kind of kinky stuff, the kinky side of them. I love to get to know all of that. Um, Even for them to get to know me, as who I am. You know, Come on, the girl joke says like I'm trans and I'm tricking this guy. He thinks I'm a girl. They like to hear that stuff. It's pretty much amazing for me.
Now, what is it like how's the money issue? Like how much is the most money you've ever made from um we would say if we were alone and just chit chatting ourselves, but I'm gonna say it out, turning tricks. How much is the most money you have made turning tricks?
To be honest, I will say I went into history when we had um, this little girl website where we'll say who makes the most money. In 2014, I went into a little bit history in terms of saying that I have made just about $8,000 in 4 days, and in 6 days I was on $12,000, where I did find out that I needed some rest. So I will say $12,000 in 6 days. That would be the most I ever made, basically.
Okay. Now that we've talked about that, now the dangers of escorting, mainly when you're on the road, what were you most worried about traveling on the road? What was the most concerning thing for you?
The three things I can say will be, the number one, I'm not in well, basically sometimes I'm not in Ontario. I know I'm in Canada, which is safe, but sometimes you may have a health issue, and that would be one, because you're in a hotel by yourself. You can never tell when you may have a stroke, something happen. That will be a scare for me, because um, you're still by yourself in a hotel room where no one is going to check on you. For me, as girls, we always try to call one another, to make sure everything is good. My second concern, sometimes you don't know the people you're dealing with, and you could be dealing with a thief, a murderer, somebody psychotic. Um, Even to the point that somebody might come over. You don't know if you could get robbed. You don't know what's the dangers and who you're meeting. That's be my second concern.
Have you ever had any of these issues? Any of those issues?
Before I said, I think which is the number top three, which sometimes you don't always satisfy each customer, or sometimes customers most of them when they release, they start having that uncertain bipolar bullshit. So in terms of saying that, there have been times that which I never been robbed. I never really had. I did have one issue before, where was in a hotel and I had an anxiety attack, where my heart's kind of racing, and I just rushed to open the door and stuff, catch some fresh air. But that happened once. I never got robbed. And the third one, where it comes to satisfying customers, or button up on the wrong one, there have been a time where I can say it twice. There was a time I was in Windsor basically, and I had a customer. He told me he only had $120. He's under the budget. He want to he's just gonna spend half an hour. He's gonna respect me, and he's gonna make sure he enjoy myself. When the guy came over, he had $80. And it turns out he didn't even say that, because for me, I believe there's a way of doing certain things and saying certain things. He just gave me the $80 and he started stripping. And I'm like, hold on, this thing, like, we agree on the price, darling. I know you didn't have my 2 bills, and I respect that. You're very honest. But at the end of the day, this is still short. It's the coinage. You know, so this guy got a little bit head over heels, snatched back up the money, you know, told me fuck off. And he actually even pulled up my charger because I was charging his phone. I jumped on his back. I'm like, you know, the fuck, this is your fault. You could just give me the $80 and said, this is all I have now at the moment. And it caused a fight. This guy actually, you know, throw me one side. And I'm like, bitch, you know who I am? I have a pair of balls between my legs, so I'm gonna fight you. So we were tangling going out through the door, and as soon as I get out, the guys from New York City, basically, you have to be 21 to drink in the States. So they came over here to drink in Windsor. And as soon as we got out, the raffle went on. And one of the big guys, he looks like he's on steroids. He's huge. And he's like, he saw the fight. And he's like, what happened, miss? What happened? And I'm like, this guy took my money. So as soon as I said that, this big ass boy grabbed this bitch up and threw him on the wall. He's like, look at her. Why you gonna rob her? And I'm like, yes, I don't even know why you will rob me. You know, you take the money. And this big guy threw one punch in his face.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh my God. So then he's like, look at her, she's pretty. Why would you rob her? Like, the fuck, look at her. And then I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know why. So he took out the money and dropped it on the ground. And he's like, the kid was like, look at her, you know, she's really gorgeous and pretty. You take advantage of her and give her another punch in his face. And his head bounced off the wall. And he dropped on the floor, you know, knocked up for like maybe 20 seconds. I took out the money.
Scary.
Yes, it was drama. And he run through the door. This was the tea. Now, the people that was partying there, like a bunch of 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. I think there were like 6 of them. But they didn't know I was trans. So the manager came out, you know. That time my key was locked inside the room, so I couldn't get back in my room. And he's like, you know, I'm gonna get your key. You're gonna give me your ID to make sure this is you. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So by the time I got in the room, the guys find out that I'm T, trans. So I have one of the guys calling my phone. They're like, I didn't know you're trans. And I'm like, thank you for picking up for me though. You know how to respect a woman. So then the next guy called and he's like, so can I see you? And I'm like, come on, I still have to charge my coinage. As much as you pick up for me, I still have to charge my coinage. But that was one of the incidents I've been through.
Oh my God, that sounds, it's frightening, scary. But at the end of the day, somebody stood up for you.
Yes.
So, on that note, now, in the business, how long do you plan on being in this business, or are you still in this business now?
Yes, I'm still in the business. My plans was to stop the business since last year, but how to put it, my money plans wasn't on track, and you know, back page have been taken down. So at the moment I'm planning to go on for maybe another year, another 2 years, until I own my own business, most likely, so I can have like a little coinage coming, like a little 150 a day coming in from my own investment or own business. However, I don't think I will stop escorting still. The man with the right dollar, I still shake my titties for him.
Okay. So you mean, so you because the money is so good, you don't want to stop?
Yeah, to be honest, even though the money is good, it don't always be that well, because some people will compare, you know, you make good money, not all the time. And one lesson to be learned, fast money goes just as fast.
Mm-hmm.
It have a curse on it. So as much as the life is fast, the money doesn't last too long.
Well, you have to put the money towards something good.
Good uses. That's
when
what I'm
things
trying
are
to do
going
this
well.
year.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, what do you want? What should people know about Sweet Pea?
To be honest, I will say I'm very inspiring. I'm a million things. I'm nice. I take time for myself, but at the end of the day, Sweet Pea's still, a person that does what she wants to do in terms of fashion, looks, even, you know, being business wise. I enjoy my every minute of my life, and I look up for respect, and I expect those who are looking at this and who are viewing this, millions of people to respect themselves. There are people out here that will strip your value very fast. And they don't show, like, even if they're escort, if you're, you know, your time is precious. It takes a lot of energy. Don't let anybody drain your energy. Always recharge for yourself. That's my best advice, and that's what I'm looking to do at the moment. Recharge myself, make my own business. So because this escorting thing is, for me in my heart, it's not going to last too long. There are people that coming out. There are girls that desperate for money, and they do anything for less of what they're really worth. And I'm not downgrading them or looking at them in any form of fact, but down the line, men are going to devalue the cost of it, because I know even female escorts who guys take them to dinners, pay them for their time. They're not expecting that much. But then me as a trans, guys want to know from the get-go, what are we going to do? How is this going to play? They're looking for a whole jalopy. And I can say that much in terms, like, the business is not going to last too long. There's already start devaluing. The government have already taken on most of the important sites. And so that's why I can advise anybody, make whatever you make good uses of it.
Okay, just a couple more questions for you, Sweet Pea. Now, the difference between, how is it that the trans women are treated, and the gay community, the gay men in the community, how is the relationship between trans women and gay men?
To be honest to you, we are on the umbrella, basically. I'm going to be honest, and this is one of the main facts that this is. I'm going to bring up three main facts that trans and gay do have. Meaning under the umbrella, meaning we do have attention from gay guys, we do have attention from straight guys, we do have attention from lesbians and open-minded people. So we are under the umbrella, as in we are quite versatile. And with gay people, they're not that versatile, because they can't get basically everything. Especially guys who attracted to women, will see a trans as a woman, and even gay people won't really realize that. Sorry.
So they think of you, gay men would think of you as a drag queen or a cross-dresser.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one of the issues. I would say the second issue will be like, because most T girls are escorts. So I would say that was one of the issues, because there's a big discrimination. I'm going to be honest, a big discrimination when it comes to trans and escorts, basically. So because I'm an escort, a lot of gay people doesn't really accept that. Up to the people, I'm going to be honest, I live around maintenance guys. There are two of them, and they're gay, to be honest to you. But the people just don't like me. They try to, every minute they try to cause a problem between me and the building, or the managers, or the landlord. Up to like 2 days ago, they called the tow truck for me and the parking police, and I'm like, "But this is the point I don't get. You guys are gay. You guys could have just come and knock on my door and told me to move my vehicle. Like, and it's kind of embarrassing that you guys are trying your best to get me out, and but that's some of the reality in terms of me being an escort. Some people doesn't like trans being escorts. Even me on the dating site, sometimes I try to hook up. The grinders. The first question some of the guys ask me when it comes to meeting me, oh, what do you work doing? Is this going to cost me? To be honest, sometimes it hurts my feelings, because I'm to the point, I never asked you for money. I just wanted to chill, to get to know you, but you didn't have to pass off so judgmental. It's real, which sometimes I do feel bad, but at the end of the day, I love who I am, and who I am is, based on my looks. Whether it's tits, whether it's face, my makeup, it makes me who I am. So,
now, okay, go ahead.
So at the end of the day, that would be the second one. I would say the third one, I guess some trans do try too hard, and there can be harsh. That's the third one. There can be harsh at times when it comes to gay friends, or gay people. They think they all of that fish. So at the end of the day, that would be the third one that a lot of people mistake and get away with.
Okay. Now, our final question is this: what is the difference between you as a trans woman performing as a drag queen, or is it that most people, when they just see you done up, they just think that you're a drag queen, and have you had many people ask you, are you a drag queen? Do you perform?
To be honest, I used to perform, but not anymore. Yes, it is. It's a difference, to be honest. It's a difference in the whole living. Living your life as a trans, meaning you're dressing as a female every day. The makeup is different, the clothes is different. You still want to respect women. Drag, you can go extra with the clothes, you could go extra with the makeup. You do more makeup when you're doing drag, long lashes. There is more androgynous. With living as a woman, you want to be possible, you want to be respectful, you don't want to be showing too much titties, you don't want to be showing too much ass, you don't want to pass off as, and with drag you can't do that, because it's an entertaining business, so that's the two difference between trans and drag, basically.
So you still want the respectability, the
Yes.
respect in it.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Now, I'm going to ask you just a couple of light questions. Now, thank you so much, Sweet Pea, for being my guest on the Stephanie Stevens Show. As you see, we've been riding around Toronto tonight. To my audience out there, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm just going to ask Sweet Pea a couple of more questions. As you see, we got down with the dirty and the nasty, and which is something that you guys want to know. And I'm glad Sweet Pea was here to share her life and her experiences with us here on the Stephanie Stevens Show, and to our audience out there. Now, Sweet Pea, what is your favorite food? You say you're from the Bahamas. What is your favorite food?
Barbados. To be honest, my favorite food. What will I say? I'm a fan of fried chicken and barbecue chicken.
Okay. And our last question for you for tonight is, who do you admire and why?
If I have to say admire and stuff, I will say Rihanna. And not that she's from my country, but is that she does what she wants to do. I like people that take power and pride in what their life is, and and all of that stuff. I can say Rihanna in a lot of different ways. Yeah.
And why?
Why? I think she takes power of who she is. You know, she's not scared of saying, you know, thank you. She's not scared of saying, you know, basically fuck off, or you know, she's not really a person that holds back who she is.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Stephanie Stevens Show. I'm Stephanie Stevens, and my guest tonight was the fabulous Sweet Pea, sharing her world experiences on our great stage. And I want to just say thank you to everyone out there. Hopefully, we've taught you something. We will see you next week on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Also, before we go,
Okay.
please, whoever viewing, if you want to know any questions, or if you want to ask any, or add any questions that you're really intrigued about or get to know, you can also leave a comment. You can leave a review and let us know what you like to know. What's the tea? And we can spill it for you. But yes.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. On the Stephanie Stevens Show, here with Sweet Pea, spilling the tea. That's what we want to do, spill the tea. Send your comments in, tweet us, Facebook us under Stephanie Stevens, or Stephanie Stevens Show. We're going to put up some fan pages. We're on Twitter under Miss Toronto 2. So check us out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Stephanie Stevens Show. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have lots and lots of stories for you. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Stephanie Stevens Show. Thank you, Sweet Pea.
Thanks. Have a good one.